Salome, shalom to you, our cherished viewers. Today, we are pleased to share with you one significant evidence that proves the Hebrews' assertion of being Israelites, and particularly of Judah's descent. The scriptures have it that Jesus fed multitudes with loaves of bread and fishes. And this particular account was reported by all four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John's account reads, John chapter 6, verse 5 to 14. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, There is a lad here, which had 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? And Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down, in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise of the fishes as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. Then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, This is of a truth that prophet that should come into the world. John's account made us understand that the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes were taken from a young boy. We all know and love sandwiches made with bread and maybe fishes, but this scripture clearly puts it that Jesus fed the multitude with loaves and fishes, not sandwiches. So, what kind of food did the ancient Israelites so enjoy that they carried along with them on their journeys? Bible scholars have tried to understand the concept of the loaves and fishes, but could only form mental pictures of baked loaves and fishes as these. But we are aware that the people of biblical era were civilized in their own ways, and accounts of their food culture reveal that they ate well, as we take a clue from the food Abigail sent to David after her husband denied David. Additionally, it is still unconvincing that a small boy would be given 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes as these for one meal time, because the average adult cannot even eat these 5 loaves and 2 fishes at a meal time. There is also the possibility of the boy being given more than that and having the 5 loaves and 2 fishes as leftovers after taking his lunch. Considering these 2 scenarios, we can confidently conclude that the loaves of bread and fishes spoken about in the 4 Gospels were not these. Some Bible scholars realized this inconsistency and introduced a slightly different meal concept. This is again not convincing, as we are still researching how many cultures still have this meal combination as a delicacy. Remember, children can only be given a delicacy for their lunch pack, especially if they are going out for an event. And cultural delicacies cannot fade out easily with time, as they will be handed down to upcoming generations. So, if there are remnants of the tribe of Judah, particularly, then The food combination Jesus fed the multitude should still be a cultural delicacy somewhere in this world. Analyzing the scriptures, the probable qualifying factors to the actual meal combination Jesus fed the multitude include: 1. Each loaf must be really small. 2. The food combination must be a delicacy. 3. It must be ready to eat, not raw. 4. It must be packable. 5. It must be breakable and shareable without messing with the food quality. And 6. It must be such that the leftovers will retain its taste and appeal, thus could be served later. In Everland and culture, a delicacy which survives many days called abolo is made from a combination of a number of cereals and is always accompanied with fish, either grilled or fried, lameme or kalame, even though a few people enjoy it with fried turkey tail, dokubi. This delicacy is the welcome you receive when you reach Everland from any part of West Africa, as you see people joyfully vending this food on the streets on entering or departing Everland. The Ewe people have two versions of this food, the baked and the steamed. The steamed abolo can last for up to 3 days, whilst the baked abolo stays eatable for more than 5 days. They are both called abolo and could be accompanied with varieties of stews and sauces. However, in limited situations, particularly when a person is on a journey, abolo, especially the baked one, is usually taken without stews or sauces, but not without fish. Abolo falls among the choicy foods of the Ewes, even during programs such as weddings, funerals, parties, and festivals. Why would this food, abolo, perfectly fit the biblical description of the loaves and fishes Jesus miraculously fed the multitude? 1. Because it is called abolo. Abolo is how Ewes call bread. Whether it's a slice of bread, a loaf of bread, or loaves of bread, the Ewes say abolo. So, it could only be translated into English as loaves of bread. It is always enjoyed with fish, even without stew or sauces, so those who sell it always have fish by the side. Another reason why this particular food fits the biblical account is the fact that it's always broken when eating it, and to share a piece of it, you need to break it. This resonates with Jesus blessing and breaking it to share with the disciples. The next reason is it breaks into pieces quickly. Because it is fragile due to its flat shape and possibly the ingredients, it easily breaks into pieces quickly, making it realistic for fragments to be gathered according to the biblical accounts. In Everland, the fragments could be used for soakings, that is a mixture of water, milk, sugar, peanuts, and the fragments. Lastly, the size of abolo makes it laudable for the boy to be given 5 loaves or even more for his lunch. So friends, Jesus fed the multitude with abolo and kalami. Do you have similar food in your culture? This food abolo is similar to the cherished indigenous yaka of the Ewe people. Next time you visit Everland, make sure to grab abolo and kalami to enjoy the Ewe delicacy, but most importantly, to commemorate Jesus feeding the multitude. Thank you for watching. Bye.